Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my new quick and easy series of tutorials. I came up with this idea to try to deliver more content to you on a more regular basis. I'll still be keeping my regular format for the longer tutorials where I actually introduce myself on camera and chit chat with you a little bit, but hopefully this shorter format will be enjoyed by those of you who don't want long videos. So let's get right to it. We're going to be making an ocean themed leather charm bracelet, and we'll be using some of the items that came in the GGC Treasure bag, the summer release. If you're not familiar with that bag, I'll leave a little bit of information down below in the description section of this video, along with a link to the website. So let's go ahead and get started. Here are the items from the GGC Treasure bag. The name of the bag is Deep Sea Jewels. As you can see, I have some turtle charms, some shell charms, and a toggle clasp. I absolutely love these turtle charms. Initially, I was just going to use those and nothing else. And then I changed my mind and I thought I would use these shell charms as well for a little bit of color. These are so beautiful. I really like these. As you can see, they have a little pearl. It's actually an acrylic pearl. There's the back. And these turtle charms are really cute too. There's the front. And there's the back. Both of these measure about 12 millimeters across, and that would include the flippers of the turtle. And I think the ring portion of the toggle clasp is also 12 millimeters across. Here are some items from my stash. This bracelet is going to have a lot of metal. That's the look that I'm shooting for. I have some metal tube beads, and I actually got those at the gem show. We have the International Gem and Jewelry Show that comes to town several times a year in my area. As you can see, I bought a whole bag of them. And these measure 11 by 5 millimeters. I have some charm holders there. They're pretty easy to find on Amazon. They have all kinds of shapes and sizes. If you type in charm holder, you shouldn't have any trouble finding them. And I have some metal beads there. They measure 6 millimeters. They have large holes, so they should be able to accommodate 1.5 millimeter leather cord. These have large holes as well. So when you go to find your beads and your charm holders, make sure you check the inner diameter before you buy it. They usually list those dimensions in the specifications. And here's some cord end tips. I got those on Amazon as well. They're kind of flat, but they should be able to accommodate 2 pieces of leather cord. I really like these. As you can see, I got an assortment of them. There are all kinds of sizes in this assortment, but I like to buy assortments, that way I have choices. And here I have some jump rings. These are 5 millimeters in size. And here I have my leather cord. It's 1.5 millimeters thick, and the color is pearl. It's kind of metallic. I really like this one. I got this huge spool on Amazon as well. I'm a big Amazon fan, as you can tell. We're going to be using some E6000 glue, and I really like this one because this one's scent-free. It doesn't have any odor, but I would still use it with caution because even though it may not have any odor, it may still have fumes. So it's best to use it in a ventilated area. So now that we've gone over the materials, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by gluing the leather cord into this end cap, and then I'm going to have to let it dry before I hang the charms. And believe me guys, it takes a while for the glue to dry inside that end cap, and that's because air doesn't get into it very easily. So more than likely what I'll do is let it dry overnight and then come back and finish filming this tutorial. Let me put a piece of paper down to protect my board. And here's my glue. I have a toothpick. I'm simply going to get some glue out with my toothpick like this. E6000 is definitely very gooey. You don't want to get too much though, because the opening of that cord end tip isn't very big. I'm going to carefully put it in there. Let me get some more, just a little bit more. I have a paper towel here with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I'm just going to wipe the end like this. Now you do want the ends to be nice and straight. Let me just cut them. And now I'm simply going to insert them into the end cap. Make sure they're all the way in. And that's all there is to it. Put the cap back on my tube. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to let this dry overnight, and then we'll come back and finish the bracelet. And by the way, I forgot to mention, these 2 pieces of leather cord are actually 8 inches long. Obviously, you're not going to need that much, but I like to cut myself nice long pieces so I have enough to work with and something to hold on to. Okay, I'm back and it's the next day, and the glue has dried sufficiently. Believe it or not, it's still tacky inside that cap. Like I explained before, it takes a while for the glue to dry because it's inside a space where there's no air. I would say it takes at least 48 hours for it to cure completely, but it's dry enough and it's holding on pretty good, so it's safe to work with this bracelet now. And I can go ahead and hang the dangles. As you can see, I have my turtles and my shells. I also have my charm holders, and I have these metal beads over here that we're going to add to embellish it a little bit more. Now these jump rings are 4mm in size, and I think they're about 20 gauge in thickness, which should be sufficient to hold the charms. So the first thing we're going to do is attach the charms to the charm holders, and that's very simple. This is probably the easiest project you'll ever do, guys. Easiest and quickest. We're simply going to open up this jump ring, connect one of the charms, and then connect it to the charm holder like this, and close it up. So there's one, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the rest of these. Okay, as you can see, I've connected all the charms to the charm holders, and now we're just going to load them onto the bracelet. Now you do have to pay attention to which side is facing front, because you don't want one dangle facing front and the other one facing back when you have the bracelet on. So I'm going to hang mine all the same way, facing the same direction. And I've already arranged the turtles with the side that I want facing front, which would be the top side of the shell of the turtle. So the belly side is down. So let's go ahead and slide them on. I'm going to start with one of these 6mm metal beads, and then a tube bead, and now one of these shell beads or shell charms. And I do want to check to see which side is facing front. So I'm going to go this way. And now another tube bead, and now a turtle bead, or turtle charm. I don't know why I keep saying bead. Turtle charm, and a tube bead, and another turtle charm, and another tube bead. And now I'm going to finish with one of these metal beads. So let me show you what we have so far. Now I have a reason for this arrangement. You'll see in a few moments why I arranged it like this. So now I'm going to load the rest of these charms, but this time I'll start with a turtle, and then another turtle, and then I'll end it with a shell. So let me go ahead and do that. Once again, I'm going to start with the metal bead, and then a tube bead, and then a turtle charm. And again, it's going to be facing the same direction as these. And now a tube bead, Another turtle charm. A 2 bead. A shell. A 2 bead. And a metal round. These are the ones that are 6 millimeters. As you can see, by arranging them like this, the shell beads are more spaced out and not up against each other. So now we need to finish this end off, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did on this end. But first you have to determine how long you want your bracelet before you trim these leather pieces off. I recommend that you trim them off 1 inch shorter than what you want your bracelet to be. So if you want a 7-inch bracelet, you should trim your leather cord at 6 inches. And that would be 6 inches from the end of the cap, not including the loop. So for example, I would trim mine right there. That's about 6 inches. So I'm going to trim it right here. Here's a piece of paper. Here's another end cap, and here's my glue. I'm simply going to put it on my toothpick again. Now this time I'm going to apply it to the ends of the leather cord first. Just a little bit like that. And now let me get some more. And once again, you want to do it carefully so you don't get it on the outside of the cap. Let me get a little bit more. That should be sufficient. And now I'm going to slide them into the cap. And once again, you want to let it dry overnight. That's what I recommend. Since the day is still early for me, I'll come back this afternoon and finish it off by attaching the clasp. So I'll see you in a little bit and we'll finish it off. Okay, I'm back, and I think the glue is dry enough inside that cap. So now we just need to attach the clasp. I have 3 jump rings here. These are 5 millimeters in size, and they're pretty thick. They're about 19 gauge. And here's my toggle clasp. Let me open up one of these jump rings. I'm going to connect the ring to this side. So now I have my ring portion attached, and I'm going to use 2 jump rings for the bar portion to make it easier to insert into the ring. If you only use 1 jump ring, you may have a little bit of trouble. Let me open this one up. And close up the jump ring. And now I'm going to open up this one, connect it to this jump ring, and to the cord end. So there it is. I think it's absolutely adorable. I love all the metal beads and the pop of color with these shell charms. Well, what do you think, guys? Isn't it cute? I think it's super cute. I hope you like it as well. I hope I've inspired you to make your own. Just make sure that when you buy the metal beads, the inner diameter is big enough to accommodate whatever size leather cord you use. And don't forget to check the materials list down in the description section of this video. I'll leave a detailed list of everything I used, as well as the tools. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.